Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of the official bankroll challenge. So it's been a few days since I've made one of these videos. I think one of the reasons why is because we've finished our unstoppable heater up to 1k from 200. And yeah, just getting a bit stuck here. I think I made the last video at this one, 850. I didn't make one at 1000, but yeah, just these few sessions here, feeling a bit stuck. I guess I didn't really feel like I wanted to, which is probably not very good. I probably should make the videos regardless of whether we've won or lost, and analyze them and stuff. But I feel like kind of breaking the mold here. We're back to 850. I feel comfortable to make another video now. We've had some really, I'm just looking at the the description of the sessions, and it does look really disgusting. Disgusting session, worst session of the challenge, horrible session, happy it went straight forward, that's good I guess, solid, bit of spew, boring, unlucky, just lame. And then this was a crazy session on my laptop. I think I was spazzing a bit. I made one mistake here, I played solid elsewhere. So yeah, if you want to read through these notes, the link to the spreadsheet is going to be below. But yeah, there was a few things I wanted to talk about today regarding just moving up in stakes, and if some of you guys are moving up in stakes, the kind of things that I've experienced on this challenge, you'll be facing them as well, and how we need to adjust to these changes. So I feel like I may as well bring this across. So yeah, we do have some data on my laptop, which is probably about $100 before rake back up, maybe more, maybe 150. Then obviously more rake, which we get a third back, or maybe 25%. I'm not really sure. So this doesn't look particularly impressive, but yeah, it's really sad how the rake is 2 times as much as net 1. But even though we've barely played any volume, the rake is just so killer. I really think they have to do something about that. So I'm probably not going to show many graphs, but just show the data in this kind of format or like this. But yeah, so our strategy remained somewhat consistent across all of the stake levels. I'm not sure why my VPIPs are slightly higher here, but yeah, you can't really go wrong at 2NL. The rake is, firstly, the rake is much lower. I think at 2NL only, maybe 5NL is a bit lower as well. Yeah, 10NL we barely touch the sides. You can see 1 win soft flop rating, and 1 at showdown. Where's that? Yeah, this one. We just won everything. So we barely stopped at 10NL. And then at these levels, we're generating a lot of rake, and a lot of our profits coming from the rake back. And to be honest, we haven't actually put that much volume into 25NL, just because I think the sessions have been particularly tilting. So I've needed more breaks. Then I've had basically the whole weekend off this weekend, just going out with friends and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to put in a lot of time this week, Monday through Friday. Probably won't go out the weekend coming up. Just try and churn out a ton of volume for you, and trying to catch up on the hands we're missing out on. So so yeah, some of the changes in terms of player pool and stuff, and in terms of win rate. So firstly, the rake is going up as we move up in stakes, compared to the very lowest levels. Also 16NL, although the win rate is only 2 here, plus a shit ton of rake back, so maybe 4 or 5. 16NL was notoriously very soft, so if you're looking for a fun, kind of easy, chilled out stake level, I definitely recommend 16NL. And then 25NL is where there's a lot of I think they're just basically pros, pros living in Eastern Europe, just grinding out a humble, modest salary, playing very nitty, stats, like if I had to guess, some of these guys are probably playing like 15, 11, like 3 to 5 or something. Like they're very nitty, and like this is one of the things I wanted to talk about. Like there's nits at these lower games who are also pros from Eastern Europe, but like they're not nitty enough. They're like bad impersonators of the really king of the nits at 25 NL. So on that regard, there's like they're not actually nitty enough at these games, and they make mistakes, and they value bet too thin, or they hear a call too wide, blah blah blah. Whereas like there's literally king nits at 25 NL who like pre-flop they 4-bet, they only have kings plus. Like you can't outplay it. You're just gonna lose. Post flop they check strong hands they should be value betting, which can really throw you off your game if you try and put in a value bet on the river and they've somehow got aces. Like I think there's been times when someone's 3-bet aces and then they just like check on like 6-4 deuce rainbow, and like you can value bet, I don't know, pocket tens twice, and you just hate life when the river goes check check or something. It's just like kind of stupid stuff like that, and like they 3-bet ace queen suited out of position. It comes queen 7-3, and they just check call twice or something, and then like maybe lead the river or do something really stupid like that. But there's lots of different strategies, and like obviously on the one hand you can call it nitty like behavior and being too tight, but on the other hand you can call it like protecting your checking range. Like you can approach these things in different ways. But one thing that I think we've had to do, I mean 16 and 0 is like really similar to the ones below, but 25 and 0 I really did feel like getting a HUD on was really good and really basically essential, because at these ones I just played the same strategy regardless. Like I don't even think I had a HUD on, but and the reason for that was like the loose players weren't loose aggressive enough to punish me, and the nitty players weren't good enough or tight enough nits to punish me. So although there felt like there should have been like a really wide spread, let me see if I can like somehow show you what it felt like. Let me try and do this. Let's say we have king nit here. Let's say we have like GTO here. I don't really know how this would work. And then let's say we have like lag. So at 16 and 0 and lower, yeah, like the players were kind of, let's just say they actually stopped about there, and then there'll be some guys playing about the tightness of GTO there, and then it was like the loose aggressive players would only go here, whereas like, so this is for 16 and 0 and lower, whereas it feels like at 25 and L king nits, let me just copy this. Yeah, like the king nits can be all the way to the very left. There'll be players in the middle, kind of like me, or like, I'm not saying I play like GTO, but just kind of tight aggressive. I think this is fairly loose compared to the population, but maybe I'd be about there. But just this is not GTO. This is just middle of the road, okay? And then there are like people who are 3-betting really wide, calling 4-bets really wide, and like just playing loose, maybe not spazzing loads post flop, but basically being much wider pre-flop than they should be, and in an aggressive manner, not just calling and then being aggressive post flop, just like 3-betting very wide. So yeah, and like I think it's really important to have a HUD to be able to, so like if you just play a strategy around the middle here, there's a couple of guys who are a bit outside it, a couple of guys who are a bit to the left as well, but if any strategy in this range is going to be fine against these guys. You're going to give up some edge against this guy, you're going to give up some edge against this guy, but you're going to overfold a bit against this guy, you're going to overcall a bit and overdefend and over 4-bet against this guy. But yeah, once you play a similar strategy with a wider range of players, and you're not adjusting to each individual player, I mean, this is just like it's meant to be just a basic model representing what I'm trying to explain, but you know, the edge against the king nit that you're giving up is suddenly a lot bigger. And similarly against the lag, who maybe is pounding on you all the time and just like 3-betting you relentlessly, 4-betting you a lot, you're going to be overfolding against him quite a lot. So yeah, having a HUD I think is really important at 25NL. You know, not for you're not going to be staring into this guy's poker career of statistics. Like, all you need to know is you know, what's he roughly playing? Like, you know, is this guy in it? Is he too tight? Is he too loose? That's kind of my opinion, and that's kind of how I feel like we've made improvements in the last few sessions. And like, you know, things have gone, you know, we've had some horrible sessions, whereas if we just look at the description here, like, solid session, a couple of rough beats, but decent, easy session, smooth session, you know, fishy, station, aggro, spew types online, that's good. You know, pretty obvious strategies to play against. Massive heater, you know, we had it, you know, -40, and we define it as, you know, really boring session. Holy shit, very clean session. And this was a bit messy, but you know, we come away with the win. You know, we had it very easy up to here, and now, yeah, I think we need the HUD just to, you know, assist us. And like, you know, without a HUD, you know, it kind of feels like you're driving late at night without headlights on. Like, you know, you just need that the extra vision about how these guys are playing and who they are, what they're about. So yeah, I'm gonna, you know, like I say, we've only put in 10,000 hands here. You know, at 10NL that was enough to move us up through the level, but you know, we've definitely been a bit stickier. Yeah, we're still at 5 BBs before rake back, which is still, you know, it's still really solid. Like, that's, I think I wanted 4 BBs for the challenge, so, you know, can't be too disheartened with that. Also, the rake back as a win rate on top is going to be very high at these low levels. Like, it's going to be like, so this is 2/3 of that, 7.5. If we get a third, about, that's like an extra 2.5 maybe, or maybe 2 at the lowest stakes. And here, let me just see if there's an easier maths calculation. So we rake about half of this, which is 10 BBs. So yeah, if we get a quarter of that back, that's an extra 2.5. So we're still at like 7.5, 8 BBs per 100. So although I'm sad that once upon a time this was at like 19, this was at 18, this was at like 17 or something. Like, these were all like close to 20 for when we were at 1,000. You know, it's not a disaster to go down to here. I mean, this looks awful, but you know, with the rake back and stuff, it's okay. And like, we've definitely made, well, I've made a ton of mistakes. So like, you know, that's always going to be a stain on your win rate forever. Like, once it's in, it's done, it's booked. Like, it's stuck there forever. But all that really matters is, you know, we learn from it, and you know, we look forward. So I don't think, because I haven't actually played recently, there's not like a load of hands at the forefront of my mind that I wanted to go over, but yeah, I just thought I'd give you an update on kind of what I'm thinking about 25NL. Just talk about the HUD, talk about the play styles, talk about how things have changed between stake levels, how we're going to approach things, and yeah, what my plans are for next week, and just, you know, smash out a ton of stream time and hopefully a bunch more videos. So yeah, I'm gonna do well, it's kind of irrelevant for the regular viewers, but I'm gonna do a beginner video for, like, yeah, basically my friends and family, and be like, what the hell is online poker? You know, how can you make a living from it? And then I've still got to make this esports video. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Maybe I'll do it today, I'm not sure. But yeah, hope you guys are doing alright. I'll be streaming, like I say, a ton this week, so I'll probably see you there a couple of times. Yeah, good luck with whatever you're doing, and I'll see you soon.